Hello, my name is John Bannon. I'm an attorney and philosopher. In today's video, I'm going to explain the philosophy of superdeterminism in bullet points. So I've written 10 bullet points on the board. I'm going to go through each one, and this will give you a very good idea of what the philosophy of superdeterminism is all about. Number one, reality is a permanent block universe of fixed, unchangeable particles and their patterns through the static dimension of time. So the universe is real, and it consists of three dimensions of space and one hidden static dimension of time in this fourth dimensional block universe. The only thing that's in the block universe, besides nothing, is real particles. But these real particles cannot change or be moved. They are permanent because there's no cause and effect in physics. Consequently, what you have is you have particle patterns through the static dimension of time, which are described by our logical mathematical laws of physics. Two, all events in the past, present, and future are equally real, and no one has the power to change them. So every event in the past, in the present, and in the future is equally real and still presently exists in the block universe, and it's permanent. So in your own life, the events of your life still exist. The only reason you don't presently experience the past is because your location in the hidden static dimension of time is not in that past location where you are still experiencing the past. Same thing with the future. Number three, you are an immortal where every moment of your life always exists and is endlessly repeated. So you have a block life, and it's permanent, and it consists of every moment and event of your life from birth to death, and it always permanently exists in our universe. And you are endlessly experiencing every moment of your life repeatedly. Four, the meaning of life is the predetermined role your block life plays in the predetermined plan for the universe and human history. Five, potentials cannot be universal meanings of life because all block lives do not have those potentials. So, for somebody whose block life does not contain some potential meaning of life, let's say X, then it is meaningless to tell them that the meaning of life is X when X does not appear in their block life and can never appear in their block life because their block life is unchangeable without cause and effect in physics. So any sort of potential cannot be a universal meaning of life, such as potential to be happy, the potential to work hard, the potential to be rich and famous, whatever potential you choose. It cannot be a universal meaning of life. Six, all block lives are superdeterministically correlated with one another, each being existentially equal. So all events in the block universe are superdeterministically correlated with one another. They all fit together within the same static block universe. which means every block life that appears in the static block universe is an aspect of the static block universe and super deterministically correlated with all the other block lives and events in the universe. None of them are uh, more important in an existential sense from the others in terms of the existence of the permanent block universe itself. 7. One should make every moment of life worth endlessly repeating. Because you have a block life, then your block life, every moment of your block life, is endlessly statically repeated in the block universe. This means that you should seek out leading indicators of living your life for events and moments which would be worth endlessly repeating. Now, it's true that your future life is predetermined and you can't change it, but you don't know what your future life is. So, as far as you're concerned, you can seek out leading indicators of a predetermined future worth endlessly repeating because the simple act of seeking out such leading indicators is a leading indicator that that is the future that is predetermined to occur. Number 8, God atemporally created our block universe, and this is scientifically evidenced by a transcendent mathematical blueprint we call the laws of physics. Now, the laws of physics do not cause the existence of the block universe because there's no cause and effect in physics that would allow that. But the laws of physics um, do describe the organization and patterns of the static particles in the block universe. And because there's scientific evidence that this mathematics, specifically quantum mechanics, transcends actual physical reality, then that transcendent blueprint must be a scientific indicator that our static block universe was created. And because there's no moving time in the block universe without cause and effect in physics, our block universe would have to have been created atemporally or outside of space time. Number 9, God predetermined Christianity and its promise of a block afterlife in heaven or hell to be the predominant world religion because it's true. So, because God atemporally created the static block universe and predetermined everything that's going to occur in it or has occurred into it, that means God predetermined Christianity to be the predominant world religion in terms of numbers of members, from which you can reasonably infer that Christianity is true. Because why else would God make it the predominant world religion about Him? Finally, number 10, God predetermined our earthly decisions to reflect what God already knew our hypothetical decisions to be under a theory called cinematism. So you can reasonably infer that because God has knowledge of our hypothetical freely willed decisions, that God would predetermine our static block universe to reflect what he already knows we would freely choose when we make our earthly decisions. So even though our earthly decisions don't have free will, because they can't, because the future is predetermined and set, nevertheless, under cinematism, one can reasonably infer that our decisions on earth truly reflect what God already knew we would freely choose. All right, that's a quick a complete summary of the philosophy of superdeterminism in bullet points. And I hope you learned something, and I'll give you a second to read the board. All right, until next time, take care.